Okay. Well, the thing is, we'll get into it, but the first movie I thought was not great. We watched it, it was fine. It wasn't like the
Mhm.
best movie ever.
No,
This
but
is
it
definitely
was.
worse. So they're
Mhm.
sliding down the
Yep.
hill, and there's another
Uh-huh.
one coming.
Is there? Oh, I cannot
Like,
wait.
it may have already come out. Yeah. It's a brand new one, and that's it, I think. They're doing 3.
Okay.
So,
3 and done
only
is
so more than enough
well,
for this.
hopefully we can get Dani back for the third one because I'm sure she will have words.
Yeah, if she would have watched this one. Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay,
All
I'm
right. You're
checking my
checking what?
internet. Checking my internet. We're all good. Hopefully nothing shuts out this time.
Hopefully
Except
we'll
that
be okay.
on my side you keep freezing, so hopefully that's like right now your
Make
eyes are
sure
closed.
make sure my internet's okay. Mine's fine. So
Okay. Whatever it is, it's always me.
hopefully it's you and it will be okay.
Yeah.
You were frozen when you first logged on, but then you're not now. So
Okay, good. Good.
we'll see. All righty.
Alrighty.
Welcome to Love on the podcast about all the cheesy romantic TV movies we adore. I'm Jessica,
And I'm Sherry.
and Dani is still not here because she's on maternity leave.
Yep.
And we're not pressuring her to come back, but we hope she will come back soon.
Mm-hmm. We
We'll
missed
see.
her.
Yeah, we're texting her every day. Are you ready yet? No, not actually. We're not doing that.
No, but we would love to have her jump in whenever she's available, whenever she's feeling up to coming on, even sporadically. So
Yes, absolutely. So today we decided, the first Mystery Island was not enough torture. So let's do the second one. Let's watch the second movie. And it's called Winner Takes All. And I'm not sure who the winner is in this film, but uh,
that's true. It certainly was not me.
I'm not sure. The title is confusing. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until you just said that. And the winner takes all. The winner,
What do they take?
they took nothing. But we'll get into that. There's there's several losers in this movie. I'll give you
Well,
that.
including us, okay? Because we were duped into watching this film.
Twice. I watched it twice because we didn't record when when we first planned to, and so I had to do a refresher, and it was even better the second time around.
Well, that's like what was that Greek romance movie? Something My Greek
Greek
Holiday?
Greek
I don't
Greek
remember.
Recipe for Romance. Is that the
Yes.
one?
I
Yes.
watched the movie 3 times.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
oh God.
Hey, but
Just
you
trying to
know what?
wipe.
We love Hallmark movies and GAC movies and Lifetime movies.
We
Some of
do,
them
and
are a miss.
that's why we can be critical of the ones that we really don't like because honestly, there aren't a lot that we really despise. But unfortunately, we've chosen a few they're just not good, guys. They're just not good. So,
Yeah.
oh well, it is what it is.
And just so you know,
uh,
we kind of blindly choose these movies. We say
yeah,
this is what we're going to do, and then we watch it, and then sometimes we love it, and sometimes not so much.
yeah, and we record about it anyways. Even if we hate the movie, we're
Yeah.
not going to be like, oh, let's skip this one. Uh, we're not opinion washing our
No,
episodes here.
absolutely not.
So,
Nope.
um, so Mystery Island Winner Takes All is just it's a hard movie to watch, guys. It's a hard movie to watch, but let me tell you what it's about. So, Mystery Island hosts contest winners vying to solve a fake murder for a grand prize. Same basic premise as the first movie. And I'm assuming it will be the same basic premise for the third movie that they are
Hmm.
indeed going to release. But the event goes awry Oh no, when an employee is murdered and secrets are uncovered. Dun, dun, dun.
This is two for
And,
two. Would you book a trip to go to that island knowing that at the two previous murder mystery parties, people have actually died?
like
How are
you
they getting people to return?
could
Yeah,
win money,
but
but
you
you
might
also
die.
might die. Like, what? And how is this police officer allowing people to still come to this island? I
I
don't know. I mean,
know.
he has a stake in it. That's why he needs the money. But
Yes, true.
just
But I guess we're
so
we're
this
jumping ahead of ourselves, so let's dive in and you
yeah.
can tell us all
So
about it.
this movie was released March 13th, 2025. It stars again Elizabeth Henstridge, who I really like. I think she's
Mm-hmm.
great. I would love to see her in different movies with a different script. And I like Charlie Weber too, who plays the leading man. I think they both are fine actors. Had nothing
Yeah, I
really to do
agree.
with that. Yeah. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said I agree. They're great. Just
Yeah.
this movie did not do them well.
Just pick them up and put them somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
please.
Yeah.
um, the director and writer, I'm sorry, because I'm sorry to these people that we're going to, just not be mean, but say some things about this movie that are not the best. But I'm gonna still let you guys know who wrote and directed this movie. The director
Okay.
is Stephen R. Monroe. He also directed Five Gold Rings, The Sweetest Heart, and A Bramble House Christmas. We liked those movies, except Danny did
Yeah.
not like The Sweetest Heart, but we
Oh, I
did.
did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, this was just a miss. John Christian Plummer was the writer. He wrote the entire Mystery 101 franchise, which I adore. Love those movies,
Mm-hmm.
every single one of them. He also wrote the Curious Caterer franchise. So those are good movies as well. So again, just a little bit of a miss on the fun here.
Mm-hmm.
The filming location, we went back to the same exact place. It looks the same, which is great for continuity. It's beautiful. Panama Villa Bonita, located in Playa Bonita, just like the first film, and the location indeed outshines the storyline, I would
Mm-hmm.
have to say.
Yeah. It's
Um,
a real place. It's not a fancy backdrop. It's an actual
no,
beautiful destination.
yeah. So I wonder if they went down there and just shot all the movies at once, all three, and just banged
Oh,
them out.
maybe.
That would make a lot
It
of
kind of
sense.
feels that way. So, oh my gosh. Number three. If it's
We
slowly
have to watch
sliding down
it.
the slope, we have to watch it.
Okay, so we kind of already talked about our initial thoughts, but would you like to share any other initial thoughts about this masterpiece film?
Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna reserve my thoughts for as we dive in. I think you kind of get an
Okay.
idea of how I feel about the film,
Yes.
and I think we're
Yeah.
on the same page. I have
Mhm.
I don't know 6 pages of notes here, so
Okay,
I
wonderful.
have I have
I
big feelings about this movie.
spread out your big feelings. Okay, so let's get into the movie recap, guys, because I also, you guys could tell by the disdain in my voice that I did not like this movie, and that's okay. We're just gonna talk about it. I also had ChatGPT roast this movie, and I will read that to you later. I'm very excited about
Oh,
that.
I can't wait. That sounds great.
Uh, so we're back on the island where Amelia and Jason are planning a new murder game because, most police officers that I know like to joke around about murder in their spare time. Um, s- we welcome a host of snotty, argumentative guests who are, if it's possible, even more annoying than the ones in the first movie.
Yes,
These guests are the worst. They're
they're terrible.
just,
From the first moment they walk on the island, they're terrible.
oh my gosh, they're rude. They're nasty to each other.
Hmm.
Oh, goodness gracious. And I don't know if they were trying to like maybe mimic White Lotus a little bit with this movie, with the style of this movie, because it makes sense because White Lotus has seen such success. Obviously it's not nearly as raunchy as White Lotus is, but I kind of felt like maybe that's the direction they were trying to go.
Mm, okay.
Have you seen White
I
Lotus?
haven't. I haven't seen it. No.
Okay. So White Lotus is about the White Lotus is a hotel chain. And so each season is about a different location and they bring in, a cast of people on vacation and they follow
Hmm.
them on this
Oh,
vacation.
okay.
Um, so there's no murder game, but there is murder. So
Mm,
it felt a little bit similar to that.
okay.
Okay, so let's do a little character breakdown because the thing about these movies is that they can get very confusing very fast because there's so many
Absolutely.
characters
Hmm.
and there's not a lot of character development. And so you really have to like almost write things down while you're watching the movie
Yeah,
so that you can keep track.
it is very
So
confusing.
yeah, yeah. So we've got Baroness Jane Alcott. She's the COO of the murder game company. And then we've got James, who was hired to play her rich Texas boyfriend. But nobody knows this, right? He's not a great actor. I could tell immediately that his Texas accent was not real, but we're
Hmm.
just going to pretend like everybody believes him. And
Yeah.
everybody does, apparently.
And
So,
when he walked on set, my spidey senses went up immediately. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
this is the guy. This is the guy.
I'm like,
They didn't even try to hide it.
no. Mm-mm.
So that's the
I'm like,
movie. He did it. Thank you
it's
for
over.
listening to Love on the Pond.
Yeah. If you didn't watch the movie, it's ruined for you now.
Oh,
Oh
spoiler
well.
alert. A little too late.
But honestly, like keep him British and give him a different job. Like I don't
Hmm.
understand this. You know, I guess I don't live out in oil country in
Hmm.
Texas, but most people do not have an accent like that here.
Yeah.
Like it's no. They just
And
don't.
he walks onto this tropical island in the stereotypical big belt buckle and the bolo tie and the big cowboy hat. I'm like, you're in a tropical location where it's probably 100 degrees. You got your
Yeah,
cowboy boots on.
what are you doing?
But this is what an oil tycoon looks like.
Oh, oh gosh. Okay, so then we have Ted and Cece. Cece is a mystery writer, and she is played by a very well-known Hallmark actress, which I did not write down her name, but we see her in a lot of movies. Um, Kristen,
Not Chenoweth,
Kristen something.
not Wig. She's a Kristen.
Even she couldn't have saved this movie. Um,
No.
Maybe if it was a musical.
What is this movie
Um,
called? I'm going to look her up and give her a shout out.
yeah. Well, maybe she doesn't want one. I don't know. Um,
Maybe she wants to disassociate.
She was the meanest out of all the characters. She's
Yeah,
very
she
mean
does
to
mean well.
everybody. Yes. Yeah, that again, acting, fine. Perfectly good. Nothing wrong with
Hmm.
the acting. We ditched the chief of police from the first movie who had probably never acted before, hired someone else, and I think they were better at
Oh, that's
acting.
right. I forgot all about her. She was terrible. Oh, she
Us.
was not up to snuff.
She wasn't, and she wasn't necessary for the movie. She didn't
No.
need to be
Mm-mm.
there. We could have removed her
I'm
completely and it wouldn't have.
I'm sure she's a lovely person.
Yes. What
Kristen
is this
Booth is
girl?
Cece,
Kristen
by the way.
Booth. Yes. Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes,
Cece
yes,
Cornwell.
yes. Yes. Okay. And her husband who she hates. So there's that.
Yeah.
Um Louise and Alice. Alice is a podcaster and Louise is her aunt, right? Yeah, aunt.
Oh, is
Um
she? Oh, yes, she is. I wrote that down. Aunt Louise, hotel manager
yeah,
from Manhattan.
yes. And then we've got Bobby and Davis who are I forget. Are they a couple or are they brothers?
They're brothers.
Brothers. Yes, brothers. Okay, I didn't write that down.
Davis, I wrote David. Okay, see, this is this is how much I love this movie. Davis, David, whatever.
Who
Bobby
cares?
Taylor is a
Mhm.
detective with the NYPD.
Yes, and
Davis is his younger brother, a successful investment banker,
yes,
is what I wrote
and
down.
they're very. both very stereotypical in their behavior, in their
Mm-hmm.
actions, you know. Okay.
Yeah, Davis has the
So guys,
slicked back hair. It's all greasy all the time.
yeah. Okay, so Fredericks dies again, guys. There's a massive explosion, and he's somehow dying at the base of a palm tree that wasn't part of the explosion. I'm not really sure how he got there.
Yeah,
There, the explosion is far away from him. I maybe it blew him over to the palm tree. I don't know, but he's
I don't
dying,
know.
and
Yeah.
this time it's for realsies, guys. He's
Hmm.
actually dying. Although
And
I
Fredericks
suspect.
is like the caretaker. What is he? Like butler,
Yeah,
caretaker,
but
overseer?
he also owns Mystery Island now, right? Because it was willed
Yes.
to him.
Hmm.
Yes. So in the first movie, he was, yeah, the caretaker who got his eyes stabbed out by the owner. And now he is the owner, but now he's dead. Although I suspect he may come back in the next movie. It may be like Days of Our Lives. I don't know. Um,
Oh, Stefano Tamara returns again.
yes, I'm back.
Only Fredericks was a good guy.
Yeah, I liked him. I really liked
Yeah.
his character.
Why'd you
So
have to off him? I don't know, but
disappointing.
hmm.
So again, they collect everyone's passports, and James introduces himself to everyone as an actor from New York. Guys,
Hmm.
sorry. I know I tricked you. I know I fooled you, but I'm actually an actor. I was hired to come here and pretend to be Jamie's boyfriend. Okay, sure. So they've got the passports so that nobody can leave. Everybody's trapped on this island, well,
Hmm.
with a murderer apparently. So
Yeah.
that they've got
But
to
they're
figure
still
out.
going off on walks, and I need to go clear my head. There's a murderer loose on the island. Sure.
We're gonna
We're
have
not going to.
dinner together. Let's get dressed up. Let's
We're going to continue to
again.
play the game.
Yeah, what? Such a weird premise. Such a weird
Uh-huh.
premise. So, but Amelia is the one who collects the passports, and she keeps them all until the next day, and then she goes and gives them to the police officer, which his name is what? I forget now.
I don't know. Didn't care enough to look it up.
Jason. Jason.
Oh, that
I'm like,
police officer. I thought you were talking about the one from the mainland guy, the
oh
chief
no.
or whatever.
No, the main one,
Jason.
Jason.
Hmm.
So she's like, "Let me collect your passports. I'm going to keep them overnight." Like, okay, right. And Jason says he wants the passports to check and see if anyone had visited the island recently. And I figured it was to keep people from running, like I just said,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was to see, have they been here lately? I want to check their stamps and see if they've
Uh-huh.
been here lately. Okay. I
Why?
mean, I guess that does make sense, but also like you should probably hang on to those passports so
Yeah.
that they don't
Absolutely.
take
They
off.
can't bold. You don't know who did it yet.
No, there's no security on this island that we've seen. So,
And also, there's tons
uh,
of staff running around, and they don't question any of them. They just
no,
continue to serve up dinner and bring drinks.
make beds, just
Uh huh.
so weird. So, Janie then finally reveals that she's dating James in real life. He was hired to pretend to be her boyfriend. Now
Hmm.
she likes him a lot. They're actually dating. Amelia had
What a
suspected this
weird
all
combo.
along. Yeah, weird couple. I don't know. I like the gal who plays JD. I
I
her
do too.
character is kind of all over the place.
Hmm.
Um, but maybe that's what a, royal heiress would be like. I don't know. That
Maybe
she would just be like bing 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 bing
she just wants to be
kind
one of the
of.
normal people. She's dating
Yeah.
this loser from New York. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Very weird. But he definitely, you can tell, has not been completely truthful with her either.
Hmm.
So, you know, that remains to be seen what will actually happen. So Amelia and Jason start questioning each guest. Okay. Because if you didn't see the first movie, Amelia is a criminal psychologist. Is that what she
Hmm.
does? Yes.
Yeah.
So naturally, when she's on this island, she is treated as though she's a police officer. which is great. So Cece says that she was trying to convince Fredericks to back her in a Mystery Island tie-in for her next book. And that's why she was shouting at him, because they got in a big argument and
Mhm.
people saw, um, but that it was not a reason for her to kill him, right? Louise says that they were in a relationship 7 years ago until Frederick suddenly broke it off, but they'd recently met back up at the hotel that she worked at. He came to visit her. And so now they're thinking, oh, maybe we had this scorned lover who might have killed
Mhm.
Fredericks. Then we find out none of that matters because Janie was actually the intended target for this murder. It wasn't
Yes.
Fredericks. He was not supposed to die. It was supposed to be Janie. So she is naturally moved to a safe room because they have a safe room on the island,
Apparently.
in case people get murdered, which apparently is
Actually
part of
murdered.
their contingency plan, I guess, that
Yeah.
somebody might get killed here.
Are you into murder? Come to Mystery Island because someone will die. Well, and they're questioning everybody else, and it's like the writers are trying to throw you off, even though, like I said right from the get go, you know who did it. So Ted is Cece's husband. He's been out stargazing at the time of the murder, and Dave, whatever, Dave. We'll call him Dave.
Yeah.
He claims he got lost somewhere in the manic in the mansion, and that's why he was late to the game room to get the mystery started. Yeah, and I don't know. Did they even question Bobby? I don't know. I didn't write that in my notes, but
I don't remember. But it yeah, they're trying to throw you off and they're not doing a good job at it. This
no,
is this
not
is
at
a
all.
mystery movie that is not a mystery at all, which it's so
Hmm.
wild because you haven't seen the Mystery 101 movies, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay. They are so good. Christopher Palaha and Jill Wagner. Amazing, dream team,
Oh,
wonderful. And unfortunately, Jill Wagner left to go to GAC, so that franchise
hmm.
is done. Donezo. But every single movie is so good. So,
Hmm. Are
that just
those?
goes to
They're
show
still
you
streaming.
that yes, yes,
Okay,
they
I'll
are.
check this out.
Um, yeah, that like as an artist, as a creative, like sometimes you just hit the nail on the head and it's amazing.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's a struggle. And this one was a struggle.
Well, and didn't you find
um,
that no one seems terribly upset that Fredericks has been murdered?
yeah,
Or anyone, not take him out of the equation. There's been a murder on the island, and nobody
yeah.
seems terribly upset. They're just going about their day. We learned that Frederick's room has been ransacked, and Amelia just walks in and says, "Who would do this?" Well, the murderer.
The
That's who.
murderer would do this. Apparently,
Yeah.
I would be
I
like,
mean,
where's the rest of the police? Like, it's just you guys?
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, why
It's
have you not locked down this crime scene? Why is there not crime scene tape all over the place? Why, like, I
Yeah,
don't
where people are
understand.
free to roam the whole
Uh,
island. They're messing with the crime scene. Uh,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
yeah.
it's so wild. And, the interesting thing is, like, we talked last time about the locked room mystery, which these movies are. And movies like Glass Onion and Knives Out are also locked room mysteries. And they encourage you to suspend your disbelief in order to watch those
Mhm.
movies, but they are just, I don't know what it is, but they're way better.
Well, and this is suspending your disbelief so far off the spectrum. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
One cop
Yeah.
on the whole island, and then the chief comes on, but then he leaves, and then he comes back.
Yeah. I'm like, you're the chief of one person? Like, what?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
yeah,
That's like Twilight. I was talking to Bill about it. I'm like, so we've got Chief Swan, and is that it? He has
and
no
that's it.
police officers.
Yeah. I feel like we do Twilight references all the time, but it could have been maybe not a Hallmark movie, but a Lifetime movie for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Maybe the baby would have looked better. I don't know. Maybe they would have used a real baby.
Oh, good Lord.
Um, Felicity wants to She's like, next time we go to Washington, I'm going to Forks. Somebody's got to take me. I want to see that thing.
I mean, we can go. It's a bit of a drive, so we'd have to maybe do a stayover. But next time she comes, we could totally go. It's
Yeah,
time to go to Forks again. It's been several years since I've been
she
there.
wants to go to the museum and see it
Yeah, the
all.
baby's
So,
there. That's weird. Is it going to be like an
so
Annabelle situation though?
well, they said her face is kind of like melting off. It's
Oh,
deteriorating.
that's terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh gosh. Okay, so the chief that we were discussing, the new chief, he arrives on the island with Frederick's fingerprint to open his safe. He has a copy of Frederick's fingerprint from his dead body, I'm assuming, so that they can open his safe. Inside, they find the missing murder plots from John Murtaugh. Now, John Murtaugh was the person who created Mystery Island, who
Hmm.
wrote all of the locked room mysteries for them to execute these games, but there were some missing plots apparently, and here they are in Frederick's safe. But guess what they also are, guys? They're the plots of Cece's books.
Hmm.
What?
Dun dun
Cece is a fraud.
dun.
She's not a real writer.
Yep.
So we find out that Cece had brokered a deal with Fredericks years ago to pay him for the plot lines. So they're both skeezy people,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Yep.
And I don't like that they made Fredericks a bad guy. I'm not
I
happy about that.
know.
I liked him. I think
I
he could
liked
have
him.
his own movies. Let's give Frederick some
Yes,
movies.
definitely.
So Bobby's dead, guys. It's real bad.
Oh, you're
Um,
jumping ahead. Okay. Wasn't there wasn't there a note slipped under James's door? We're gonna just bypass
sure,
all this.
sure. If you want, go ahead. Go ahead if you want to talk about that.
Well, there was just a note allegedly slipped under James' door
Yes.
that said, "Meet me at the gazebo tonight for some real fun." Um,
Who,
James
who
and
would be
Jane
saying that to
for
him?
some real
Who would,
fun. A stripper? I don't know. Yes.
like,
So he and the Baroness had switched rooms, and so now they're thinking that this note was actually for her, and she's the target, and that's how it kind of leads to them. But he shares that he's an accredited combat actor, and so I had to look that up, of course, and it's actually a real thing, according to the Society of American Fight Directors. This certification demonstrates a high level of proficiency in stage combat techniques, including unarmed combat and various weapons disciplines. I didn't recognize any of the actors that were on the list as being SAFD certified. It's usually stunt actors. But when you look at
mhm.
James, do you see combat actor? No. I
No.
mean, it's just one more thing to add to his list of credits, but he's this tall, skinny guy who can't act.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, gosh.
At least the actor himself was good at being a bad actor.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's that. There's one redeeming
Yes.
quality.
Which that's a layered performance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but okay, you're a combat actor. That doesn't mean that you can like actually fight off a bad guy, I don't think,
No.
So
No.
how is that going to help you here?
You're certified in knowing how to, like put your arms up and block and all that, but you're not taking
And
actual punches.
yeah, and not actually injure the other person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, yes, so that happens. And then Bobby's dead. Bobby is the police officer from New York. And right? Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
Amelia and Jason don't seem shocked at all to find him hanging from the
No, and
ceiling of his room.
that was kind of creepy for a Hallmark movie. They pan over and they just see dangling feet. And
Yeah.
Jason and Amelia just look at it like, oh, another dead
Huh,
body. But
another
they
dead
didn't
body.
scream. They didn't like take in their breath and, it's just, okay. Well, now that's
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. We've become completely desensitized to the murder that's
Yeah.
happening here. Yeah, I watched this movie with my kids, and I was like, "Oh, okay. There's a body hanging from the ceiling. All right." It's just, oh, well, I guess that was a thing you saw. Um, so then we find out that Ted is blackmailing Davis to become his financial advisor. And I'm like, why? Wouldn't Davis want
Mhm.
more clients? Why would he need to
Yeah.
blackmail him?
Just ask him.
I just feel like, hey, dude, you want to be my financial advisor? And if you
Yeah.
have enough money, he would probably say, yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
Like,
That's kind of how it
yeah.
works. It's just another layer. I think they tried to confuse the viewer, but the whole thing is already so confusing. It was unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was weird. And they find a typewriter note. Is the typewriter note the one that was slipped under the door? Or no?
Yes. Hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So one thing about that, I will say, guys, I did not rewatch this movie. So it's been weeks since I wrote these notes. So that's why I'm a little bit confused about what's happening.
I did rewatch it and I'm still confused, so don't feel bad.
But the typewriter note has a British spelling of the word defense. And obviously, okay, that's James then, right? Like,
Hmm.
obviously,
Yeah.
who else would
Yeah.
write it like that? Nobody.
Uh-huh.
Um, so that,
Except Jane.
the clue, no, the clue, well, hopefully not. I mean, that would have been a twist that we wouldn't have seen
Hmm.
coming, maybe.
Yeah.
But the clues were just so glaringly obvious throughout the
Hmm.
film that it's like, okay, what?
It's like there's
This,
a terrible, terrible horror movie that I saw when I was in high school. I saw it at the drive-in. What was it called? Student Bodies. And whenever
oh,
like somebody suspicious would come on the screen, it would flash in big letters. Clue, clue, clue. It was a satire, obviously. So, and that's what this movie felt like, It's we know from the minute James walks on that it's him. And
yeah.
they can try to throw you off. You're not thrown off. It doesn't work.
Yeah, like how they have those big neon sign arrows that point to everything in Beetlejuice.
Hmm.
They're just like,
Yeah.
hey,
Uh-huh.
look at this.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh gosh. Okay, so guys, at this point, I've given up on walking you through the whole movie because this was just not good, and that's literally what I wrote in my notes.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. Telling you
Yeah.
what
Hmm.
happens. So, the end of the movie, we get to Amelia and Jason have solved the mystery. It was really difficult, but they made it happen. And they roll out their murder board for the whole group because that's normal and fine
Hmm.
to do that. Um, so they want to explain the entire case they have for an active homicide investigation in front of all these random strangers.
And that's what I wrote on
That's
here too.
realistic.
What is happening? Because, well, they followed the clues because apparently Bobby, the detective, had been secretly recording everybody in order
Yes,
to win the game. So he wanted to hear all these conversations so that he'd get clues on how to win the actual game. He ends up murdered instead.
because he
And
needed
that's,
he needed the money.
hmm
Yeah.
but
So, oh my gosh. You know how many problems a prosecutor would have with this case if
oh,
this were
yeah.
actually real? Like,
Well, as they're
just,
walking them, they sit everyone down and they're walking them through exactly what happened step by step. And I could see that happening if they're talking about the actual game. They're like, yes,
yeah,
this is what happened. And then he did this and she did that. They're talking about this whole actual murder, two murders now.
yeah,
And they're all just
yeah.
sitting there listening. And at one
They're
point,
like, oh,
James goes, I'm not going to stand here and listen to this. And Jason goes, no, you're going to sit down. And I burst out laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh, the theatrics. Oh my gosh. It was just so bad.
uh, so I will not reveal the ending of the movie for you unless, Mom, you want to.
I think I kind
Um,
of already did.
well, yeah, I guess that's true. But I will say, like I said before, I'm really bummed that they demonized Fredericks. I really liked him.
I did
And
too.
also, the absolute leaps that they had to take to get to this conclusion are absolutely laughable,
Hmm.
insane. Like, what?
I
It
love
makes
a
no sense.
good thriller. I love a movie where there's plot twists if they make sense. I love being trying to figure out the clues and everything. But like I said, it was so blaringly obvious or glaringly obvious from the very beginning who did it. It's like none of this other stuff. I didn't care anymore. It's like
No.
just pick up the culprit, get him off the island, and be done with it. It just it didn't hold my attention and it made my brain hurt. It was too much going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mind an unrealistic mystery movie. I'm a big fan of
No, like
Lifetime.
Clue.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of like, yeah, the more cheesy ones where it's satire. I'm also a big fan of the crazy, ridiculous Lifetime movies
Hmm.
that are about, a murdering cheerleader mom or whatever.
Yeah. Hmm.
But this just the writing just wasn't good. It just was not good,
Hmm.
unfortunately. I think that's what
I'm
it comes down
sorry.
to.
We know you can do
Urgh.
better. We've seen you do
Yes,
better.
we do.
So
Yes.
it's not a
Yes,
personal attack.
absolutely. Yeah, and I kind of think, like I said earlier, they must have filmed all three movies together because I cannot imagine that they would have kept going
Hmm.
after the
Yeah.
first one if they hadn't have already filmed them. I just can't
Yeah.
imagine it.
And I
It just
wonder with
does not make
Hallmark
sense.
type movies, do they do a test audience or do they just, they're banging them out so fast that they just put them out? Win, lose, or
I
draw.
don't know. I I don't know. I would be interested to know kind of what their process is for deciding if something's going to get a franchise,
Hmm.
if it's going to
Yeah.
be more than one movie. Um, yeah, I guess it's probably easier now to gauge. Ugh, there's a mosquito flying around my face. Get out of here. I guess it's probably easier to gauge with Hallmark Plus now because they can see exactly how many
Mm,
streams something
true.
got.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So there's one more.
Okay.
Do we know
Anything
when it's going
else?
to be released?
I think it maybe already was or very soon. Let's see.
Okay.
Mystery Island. Part 3.
So
Uh,
I'll keep talking
Hmm.
while you look that up.
Please do.
2 for 2. We've had 2 movies, 2 murders. Um, they both end up with real murders. So, does this island have a future as a mystery murder resort? Wouldn't people stay away at this point? There's a third movie coming up. Who would
Uh
go? Would you
yeah,
stay anyway? I
seriously.
sure wouldn't. And the
No.
premise right from the beginning, they take away your cell phone. How would you feel about that?
Uh-uh.
I wouldn't like it. No, I
No,
need to be
especially
able.
when people have been murdered. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see an exact date, but it did say June 26th. So, just in a few days here.
Oh, okay. I can't
Mystery
wait. I don't know about
Island.
you.
Yeah, really, really stoked about this one. Play for keeps.
Okay.
So I wonder if that title's going to make any sense or not. Who knows?
Yeah.
And the other thing is they're not the romance between Amelia and Jason. It's like too slow of a burn. Like I need a
Mm-hmm.
little more happening there, or just like
Yeah.
don't do it and make them be friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't
And I think that's
know.
great. They're great as friends, as colleagues, but there's not even a will they won't they. It's just little hints of maybe, I don't know, just one little phrase that makes you think, "Oh, he kind of likes her, or she kind of likes him." But there's
Hmm.
not there's not really any overt flirtation going on.
No,
They
no,
just
it's
seem
like a
more like,
glance.
yeah, they just seem like they're better suited to be colleagues, friends. But
Yeah.
one thing I will say though, that place, the Playa Bonita, is absolutely gorgeous. It is. I looked it up. It's
Hmm.
not actually an island. It's on the edge of a rainforest, and
Okay.
it's also the filming location for Netflix's reality dating show Perfect Match, hosted by Nick Lachey.
Oh,
So.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
more you
it's
know.
beautiful. I would love to go there and vacation.
Hmm.
Um, no real murders are happening there as far as we know. So
As far as we know.
that's good.
And I actually thought from the first scenes of this movie, I thought it was a green screen. It didn't look real to me because it's so beautiful, but that
Hmm.
really was where it was filmed.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. All right. So I have no behind the scenes details because honestly, I didn't want them. So
I
I
can't wait for
came up
the
with
for the terrible roast.
so I did come up with some discussion questions for us instead.
Okay.
So, what do you think that you would have done differently as a writer for this film?
Oh my gosh. So much. Well, for one thing, they made it too obvious right from the start. Like we talked about this the whole
Hmm.
time that you knew who it was. And sometimes they do that and then they throw you off
Hmm.
and it is a big surprise. But this was so obvious that it was who it was, which we already talked about. It's James.
Yes.
um,
Yes.
so I would have changed that and maybe tried to develop some of the other characters a little bit more, but also made them not be such nitwits. They were just all
Hmm.
like you said, petty and argumentative and just at each other right from the start. And I know that money's at stake. They're trying to win this prize, but wouldn't you think you'd come into something like this? You're in a beautiful location. You're excited and you're trying to pump everybody up. Let's do this. And there was none of that. Cece just sat there like she would rather be anywhere else than there. She was just
Yes.
annoyed the whole time. Her husband
Hmm.
was just like a wet towel. Had no personality whatsoever. So I think a little
Yes.
bit more character development and just not give away the ending right from the start would have
Yeah.
helped a lot.
Yep. I almost think, um, because you need to develop these characters more, and in a Hallmark movie, you don't have a lot of time to do that with this
True.
many characters. However, they have done it with other ensemble movies. We've seen them do it, but they've broken those out into multiple films with the same cast of characters. So I
Hmm.
almost think that would have been better if they would have just kept the cast the same and then stretched the mystery out. Um,
Yeah.
so you can like develop these people and it gives you an incentive to watch the next movie because like, oh, the
Hmm.
mystery is not actually solved. So let's see like
Oh,
where we
yeah.
get in the next
Hmm.
movie. Because I really loved, like, the Cherry Lane movies. I love those, The Wedding Veil, The Groomsmen, and those all,
Hmm.
like, develop each character individually in a really beautiful way.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, so that is
They're
maybe what I would've.
interconnected and you look forward to the
Yes.
next one. This one, I'm not looking forward to the next one. And that's a bummer.
No.
Will I watch
No.
it? Yeah, I might watch it
Yeah.
just to see if it goes even more south, but I'm not looking forward
Yeah.
to it. I'm sorry.
Yes. Um, let's see. Is there anybody that you would recast that you feel would make a big impact on the film?
Mm, wow. I'm not sure. I mean, I loved Cece, even though she was, like I said, seemed annoyed the whole time. Her husband, maybe, but and I don't know why they had to portray him. Maybe not recast him, but just maybe give him a little meatier role because
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
he didn't have a lot of dialogue and he seemed like he just kind of followed her around like a puppy and I don't know. Maybe just make him a little bit different. But
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think there was really any saving this one. So
And I honestly don't think there was a lot of really bad acting in this movie. It was
no,
just
it was what it was.
it was what they were given to work with.
Hmm.
It wasn't
Yeah.
great.
Hmm.
Um, okay. Lastly, if this were made into a reality show, would you watch it?
Reality is someone actually going to end up dead?
I hope not. This is
um,
for Adult Swim Network. This is where
yeah.
somebody actually ends up dead.
So a reality show where we're watching people try to figure out the mystery murder.
Yes, and then win money.
Maybe, maybe. I think I'd be shouting at the screen, telling them what to do because they're not figuring it out. But for something like that, I think I'd rather be a part of it. I've always wanted to go to like
Yeah.
a dinner movie mystery, not movie, but murder mystery, like they do on the train sometimes. Sometimes they do it
Mhm.
like, as a dinner party. So I think that would be fun to actually be a part of something. I don't know that I'd want to really watch it because it's so interactive that I'd want to be
Yeah.
part of it.
Yep.
What about you?
Yeah. I agree. Although I don't like fancy myself an actor, so that would probably be my biggest struggle would be putting on a character
Mm-hmm.
and pretending to be this person, especially if like, oh, they need to have a southern accent or whatever. I would
Yeah. Or someone
struggle with
accuses
that.
you and I burst out laughing because, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, it's
It would
me.
be hard. You got it. We have 3 more hours to
Oh,
go.
yeah. Okay, what do we do now? Oh gosh. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a review, and then I'll get to share the Chat GPT synopsis that it wrote for me, which is very fun. So I went to Rotten Tomatoes for a review, and Jim A wrote something that was very nice. So I'm going to read it for you.
Good,
I
Jim.
hadn't seen the first one, and after watching this one, I'm quite certain I won't. The acting throughout is wooden, and surprisingly, that is true for the leads as well. It comes off like a community theater production of Clue.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't think the acting was wooden, but
no.
yeah, when the script is this bad, it doesn't help anybody.
How do you
It
redeem
makes it
yourself? Yeah.
yeah, it makes it very hard. Oh gosh. Okay, we ready for the synopsis that ChatGPT wrote?
This is the best part of the whole thing. So, yeah,
This is going to
let's
be the
do it.
best part. Okay. Mystery Island. Who asked for this? When a group of reality show contestants arrive on a tropical island to compete for a life changing prize, allegedly, they quickly discover something far more dangerous than elimination. A plot so thin it makes a rice cake look dense. Tensions rise as personalities clash, secrets are revealed, and suspiciously attractive strangers pretend to be regular people. But when
Suspiciously
one
attractive.
contestant yeah. But when one contestant turns up dead, tragically not the script supervisor, the game turns into a mystery, though calling it that is generous. Now it's up to our heroine, who may or may not be a detective, we're still unclear, to solve the case using
Accurate.
clues like vibes and eyebrow raises. Will she catch the killer before the credits roll? Will anyone have believable dialogue? Oh, featuring tropical drone shots, suspicious cocktails, and a mystery you could solve while scrolling Instagram, this island adventure proves one thing. Sometimes the real winner is whoever turned this off halfway through.
That is hilarious.
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh,
So,
man. And so accurate.
yes. I like the vibes and eyebrow raises because it's so
Yeah.
true.
I'm going to solve this with my eyebrow raise. Wow, that's good.
Oh gosh.
Again, not
All
bad
right.
actors, just bad script.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Great wardrobe, beautiful setting, fine actors. Maybe some of them are great. I don't know. They didn't have an opportunity to display that because of
No.
the terrible script. But yeah, you have to have everything to make it work, right? It
Hmm.
all has to be
Yeah.
good. So, okay, before we play a game, do you have any other comments about
I don't think
this?
so. I've already put my notes aside. I'm done with that movie.
Me too. Okay, so this game I've named Twist or Trash. So
Okay.
two of these are fake plots from a Hallmark or made for TV movie, and one is a real plot. So
Okay.
you have to guess which one is real.
Okay.
And you don't have to know what movie it's from. I'll tell you.
Okay.
If you do, bonus
Do I
points.
get bonus points? Yeah.
Okay, so the first one. A contestant is eliminated from a reality show and then eliminated in real life. A parrot repeats the final words of a murder victim, revealing the killer's identity. Or the key to the murder is revealed in invisible ink on a cocktail napkin, made visible only after hot coffee is spilled.
I'm going to go with the invisible ink.
Yes. Any clue what movie that might have been from? Or what
I,
movie franchise?
it seems familiar to me, but I don't know.
Aurora Tea Garden is what it's
Okay.
from.
Yeah. I was going to
Yes.
say Ainsley, but I knew it wasn't that one.
Yep. A Game of Cat and Mouse is what which film that's from.
Okay.
Okay. Round two. The detective discovers the killer is her own long lost. I'm sorry. I had help from ChatGPT and I didn't read this clue. Okay. The detective discovers the killer is her own long lost twin sister separated at birth during a hospital fire. All right.
So it's not
The
that
killer
one.
faked their I mean, I want to watch that movie. Um, the killer faked their own death to frame a family member for murder, or a hidden scrapbook reveals all suspects are secretly part of a decades old cult.
I'm going to go with the fire. I don't know that Hallmark would. Well, you said any TV movie. I'm going to go with the fire.
No, ma'am,
No.
it's incorrect. B is the one. In Garage Sale Mysteries, The Art of Murder, the victim stages their own death to frame a family member and manipulate the will. So,
Oh, that's the one I meant. Was there not a fire? Did I just
Yep,
make up a fire?
there was a fire. The long lost twin sister, they were separated at birth
Oh, I was
during the
combining the
hospital
two.
fire.
So
Oh,
do I get half a point? When you said
yes, half a
separated
point
at
for
birth,
that.
I'm thinking like conjoined twins. They were separated.
By the fire? My God, terrible.
Tragic. Okay, I didn't mean the first one. I
Okay.
meant the second one. Half a point for me.
Of course you did. Okay, round three. The detective falls for the prime suspect who is actually her ex-husband undercover. The killer uses online dating to find victims who ghosted them. That would be a great movie. Lifetime would make that movie.
Yep.
The island bartender is secretly a private investigator engaged to the villain.
I'm going to go with A.
A. The
The
detective
first
falls.
one.
No, it is C. The island bartender is secretly a private investigator.
Oh, and what movie is that?
But no. ChatGPT, you suck. This is not correct. It says it's from Murder She Bakes. I don't remember a Murder She Bakes movie on an island.
It's taking all the Hallmark
Ah.
mystery movies and combining them.
It says a local bakery assistant is revealed to be working undercover as a PI and is secretly in a relationship with the murderer. Okay, well, that's fine. Great. But they're not on an island. Where did that come from?
No. Bakery
The
Island.
bakery assistant is secretly a PI. Okay. Guys, I should have read that before I said it.
How am I
Okay,
supposed to
last
win?
one. Okay. Oh, these clues. Oh my God. Um, this is the same answer as the first one, so I'm not even going to read it to you. Well, you don't need to guess it, but I want to read this clue to you because it's very funny.
Okay.
Okay, I should have fact checked this, guys. Okay, a cursed snow globe makes suspects relive the night of the murder.
Ooh, I want to watch that movie.
Gosh. Oh, a rare board game in the attic turns out to be a treasure map. That could be a cool premise for
That
a
could be
movie.
cool.
I like that one.
Kind
And
of
then the last one is,
Jumanji-esque.
yeah, the last one is the invisible ink clue again. So you
Oh,
failed me.
okay.
I'm going to go yell at her later. Earth failing me.
Remember that
ChatGPT.
time?
Remember yesterday when I asked you to do this for me? It was terrible. Okay, so that's the end. That was
Ooh, do we
winner
get to
takes
rate this
all.
movie? Do we have to give it any stars
Yes.
at all?
Oh my gosh. I actually didn't choose what we should use to rate it. What should we use?
Oh, well, there nothing that really stood
Mm,
out. There
no.
was a poisoned cocktail
Stolen
glass,
murder plots. Oh yeah, poison cocktail glass.
which we didn't even
Yeah.
talk about that at all. But that was what.
Fingerprints from a dead guy.
Yeah,
Um
typewriter.
sure, let's use typewriters.
Okay,
Why not? We didn't talk about the typewriter, but if you really want to know what happens with the typewriter, go watch the movie or don't.
or don't.
Okay, do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
I will. I think you probably already know. Do we have to
Yes.
give any stars at all? This might be my first. Well, I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 1.
Yeah.
Um, it just there was too much going on. Like we talked about, the character development wasn't there, probably for lack of
Yeah.
time. We'll give them that. Um, I'll give it 1 point for the scenery, and that's all I have to say about that. One typewriter.
Yeah. I was trying to think of my worst rated movie, which is definitely a Greek Recipe for Romance, I
Hmm.
think, but I don't remember what I rated that movie.
I feel like you
I
gave it a
wish
1.
I probably.
We
So
should
I
have a
feel like this
spreadsheet.
is,
Maybe I'll do that of our
oh yeah,
ratings.
good idea. We should do
Yeah,
that. I feel like
write
this
that
movie
down.
was a little better than that because the actors were okay. In The Great Recipe for Romance, a lot of
True.
the acting was really bad. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a 1.5. Um,
Okay.
typewriters. I would not watch it again.
Mm-mm. I already did.
And, you know, I hope that they do better next time. So I will watch the last one. We'll see. But
Hmm.
if this is any indication, I don't have
I'm
high
not going to
expectations.
say I'm going to watch the last one. I will skim the last one in between
Yeah.
binge watching RuPaul's Drag Race. So,
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Alrighty. So next week we are going to be talking about Christmas in July because we are almost there.
yay!
We are more than halfway through 2025. It's crazy. I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
went
It's
fast.
so wild. Yeah. So Christmas in July is coming up. Lots of fun things that multiple channels are doing. So we're going to talk about
Hmm.
that. We're also going to talk about maybe a lack of fun things that some channels are doing.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm excited to chit chat about that.
me too.
So yeah, it's going to be fun. So be sure to follow us on Instagram at Love on the Pod and share your episode thoughts or ideas by emailing us at loveonthepod@gmail.com. Plus, you can text us with future movie recommendations using the link in our show notes. If you love this episode and want to hear more, please subscribe to the podcast as we drop new episodes weekly. So whether you're faking an alliance,
Or dramatically revealing you're not actually a Texas oil tycoon.
we hope your next vacation doesn't involve murder or bad acting or a bad script. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.
Bye.